This is my video for my botany quiz for stem structure and development. And the first question was to basically label a 35-year-old tree that had a drought in its fifth and seventh year, a bug infestation in its second year, and there was excess moisture in the 25th and 30th year. So it's kind of hard to see the rings because I did them in pencil, but there's 35 there. And I highlighted what basically the main parts that the question asked to label and to name. So here I highlighted orange to the core, right? So it doesn't really count as one of the rings for the age of the tree. So this is the first ring right here, right next to the core, and then here's a second ring, and I highlighted in red. There's a bunch of little holes in there. I try to, well, it can't really, it's not really visible very much, but there's supposed to be little holes in there, and that's supposed to be the insect infestation from the second year. And these rings highlighted in green, I try to make as thin as possible and still remain visible. These are the rings from the drought, and drought basically, it'll show up in the rings as like really thin lines compared to the rest of the lifespan of the tree, like the rest of the rings. And then here we have the excess moisture. Basically that would make the rings like huge, way bigger than the rest. Like there's three rings, like you can't really see it, but there's three rings in between these. And this is one big ring, and so is this one. And that was because of excess moisture would make the ring huge. And then the second question is, draw a 3-year-old hardwood with diffuse pores. Well, that is diffuse pores. So this is what this is. It's like a tiny section, like I think it's like a quarter of the cross section of the tree's trunk. So here's the pith, the core, right? Here's ring 1, 2, and 3. And I tried my best to illustrate the lines and the little cells that are in the that are in like a pore, like a diffuse porous like piece of wood. And I tried my best to depict the hardwood. But I just went ahead and labeled some where I just kind of guessed where all this stuff would be at. So the secondary xylem, the vascular cambium, the vascular ray, the secondary phloem, Yeah, I always forget how to pronounce that one. The cortex and the periderm. The periderm is just basically it's like the epidermis, but kind of way better on the outside. And then 3 was to draw a 3-year-old. I think it was a 4-year-old twig actually. Draw a 4-year-old twig, and the longitudinal section of a twig with 2 leaf traces and 2 leaf gaps. And I assumed the leaf gaps were the primordial buds. So for the first part of the third question, in order to find out how old a twig is, you'd have to basically count how many bud scale scars it has. So like basically what it has up here is always going to be the tip of a branch or of a twig. And this right here is a scar tissue from this either growing laterally or like growing up more, and just leaving this behind as a kind of a marker of how long, or of basically kind of just leaving a marker of the last place it was when it was growing through. And so there are 4 here. Well, like 4 here. I just added this just to make it look a little nicer. Added this extra to it just to make it look nicer, but it would have another one here. But just for simplicity's sake, I just put 4 here. to make it look like a 4-year-old stem, or not stem, but twig. And here we have, this is not a bat. This is a longitudinal cut of a twig. Um, and the main parts of this are, here are the leaves. There's 2 leaves. I tried my best, but there's 2 leaves right here, one right here and one right here. And here are the primordial buds, and I'm assuming that's what also the leaf gaps are. So there's one here and one here. Here are the leaf traces. I tried my best to make them stand out as much as possible. They're darker blue, right here and right here. We have the tunica right here. This is all together. This little bulb, or like little bulge thing right here, is the apical meristem, the shoot apical meristem. This is the tunica. Here's the corpus right here. Yeah, these 2 make up the shoot apical meristem, and there's leaf primordia right here and right here, basically future leaves. And this is a node. And I'm guessing there, if I were to draw more on the bottom, that would be the internode in between a leaf and another leaf. So yeah, that's my entry for the third and final question of the quiz. Everything from my answers was from the lecture about stem structure and development. And yeah, thank you.